was the Bulldozer Matt Tremont, the 8-time Deathmatch Tournament winner, the former 2-time world champion, the owner of H2O Wrestling. And if there is one podcast to listen to, that is the Deathmatch Russell Podcast. Let's get ultraviolet, motherfuckers.
And good evening once again, fans. You're listening to the Deathmatch Russell Podcast. They're more than welcome to come on too anytime they want to come on.
Oh man, the girls pop little like.
Alright. It's a budget thing. Let's see what he's up to.
Thank you, man, and thank you for giving me the time.
Tune in right now. And good evening, everyone. You're listening to another episode of the Deathmatch Russell Podcast. As I get set up and ready to go, here we are live with my guest tonight. He is a professional wrestler. He's a horror actor and a lot more, fans. So tune in right now and check him out. Maxx Morrison. How you doing, my friend?
Doing a lot better than I have been the last couple of days, brother.
Right. Getting all amped up. You have a lot of things that you want to talk about tonight too, which is cool. Some projects that you're working on, some little film stuff that's going to be interesting to talk about. So that's kind of cool, since I'm a horror guru, not a guru, but a fan of the horror. Big time. You know what I mean? I love good. all blood. You name it.
Hell yeah.
From your mid 80s to whatever genre of horror.
So what is your favorite decade of horror, if I might ask? What do you like?
I prefer, the early stuff of the Draculas, the way back black and white film era, when it was really just a dark scene to see of, movie, how it was, how they did it back then, like the real stories came out of Dracula and all the vampires and the wolves and, all the original horror. And then the mid 80s, of course, and the 90s, your basic movies that came out, the Jason Voorhees to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre to, all the ones that you would know in the world of movies and stuff as well.
I was going to say, if I could move my camera around, you can see I'm a bit of a horror nut to extraordinaire. So I got all my toys sitting right here next to the table.
Sweet. I did actually get a chance to go to a ChillerCon one year, and I met Kane Hodder. Cool dude.
I've heard that about Kane. I haven't had a chance to meet him yet, but everybody I know that's ever talked to him or got to spend any time with him said that he is one of the coolest dudes on planet Earth. Yeah, and to meet him was to be an honor. You know what I mean? Growing up, you're watching the movies. You're and the weird thing is, I live in New Jersey. I have not been to Crystal, the grounds yet, the camp, and go to the tourist spot. The spots where they were filmed. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's actually it's a fully functioning Boy Scout camp now. It's a fully functioning camp, and then once a year they'll around Halloween time. They'll open.
Yes, my friends have done that.
Oh yes. So if your fans don't know, what this camp does is they'll actually open it up for a week and have you stay, and then they'll treat it like it was just from the Friday the 13th movies. It's so fucking cool.
Yeah, I've signed up for the list. It's hard to get up. You have to wait. You just got to be patient and wait. But
good things come to those who wait. So that's totally worth it.
Right. But as a fan of horror movies and stuff, you know what? It's cool to go to see a location of a movie. You know what I mean? Like where it was filmed. A diner's still an active diner. I believe.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's recently I do a bunch of traveling for my day job and whatnot. So I pass by Georgetown all the time. And that's where I found out where they shot The Exorcist when the priest fell down the stairs. My buddy was telling me about it. We were driving back and I looked at him. I said, hey, next time we come through here, get a video of me taking a bump down these stairs, man. I got to do it.
No shit. Wow.
I'm going to take a bump at those stairs, man.
That's crazy. It's like my mom. She worked at the college, Georgia Core College, where they filmed the movie, Amityville Horror, the original.
right.
When they, and also, of course, over in Point Pleasant, over the bridge scene in the church. Then they sold the house. Do you believe that? I was like, holy shit, that went up for sale. Yeah, that's pretty wild. But then they did the series and stuff. That didn't really catch on to that as much. You look back and
I didn't either, man. Like Amityville is one of those ones where it's like The Exorcist. It's like once it's almost like you really can't mess with it too much because it's almost kind of perfect on its own. But it's so rich with backstory. It's like I don't know, just kind of drives you to it.
Yeah, it's like the history of The Shining. At the in Colorado at the hotel, the Stanley Hotel.
See, back where I used to live in Virginia Beach, we had our own local hotspot where it was the old Cavalier Hotel down on I think it was Atlantic Avenue, and that place was haunted too. There was ghosts that used to live in that thing for many, many years, and there was like a certain floor that tourists would come and check out because they heard the lore. So that was kind of our claim to fame out there.
And also, movies like The Chainsaw Massacre. Yes, I live for that. I met him before he died. How about that? That's an honor too. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, those are the best. Yeah, my stuff is Texas Chainsaw.
Hell yeah, man! Hell yeah, badass. I'll have to get a decal or something. I gotta get a t-shirt. We'll talk later. Business people, business. We got stuff. We're all business people here. But
hustle.
Yes. So besides the horror, man, you're in wrestling. I mean, you're a professional wrestler as well. That's awesome. I
love it.
Yes. And then it's like, I was like, let me try to get this guy on. He sounds interesting. And our friend David, of Boot and Heel. So
God, yeah.
He recommended me to you. I was like, you know what? I saw your post. I was like, I need a pod. You're like, you need to be on a podcast. You're like, oh, come on, this mixes it all up. I want to mix it up.
So I think I met David. Rolano. Yeah. Was it Rolano? I'm sorry, David. I'm trying.
I just call Boot and Hail David. That's it.
But I met him at a VCW show in Norfolk. I think it was like 2017 or 2018, and me and him just kicked it off really good. Like first couple times we hung out. He's got a great vision with this Boot and Heel stuff, man. He's out there just trying to help everybody out, and he's phenomenal for it.
And also, he's got his own equipment and promotional. He's got lights, cameras, and man, he's got some holes. Just bought himself a nice setup. I'm like, wow, man, you're doing the right thing, man. Keep it going. And
that's passion, dude. When you invest like that, dude, that's just straight up passion.
It is. It's like you, because you're into the movie and filming, and you have all the gear, and it's like, it's an expensive hobby. I mean, as well, I mean, like the podcast is a hobby. This is a hobby. This is our breakaway from just get the hell out of. Since it's not really wrestling. I mean, we can watch wrestling right now, AEW or whatever else is on, but just talk and just have fun. It's what it's all about. And get people's eyes on us and hear what we have to say.
Oh, it's a total relief, man. It's good. It's good for the social because it's just bringing people together.
And no censorship on mine because death. I don't give a fuck. So, the cursing can happen everywhere, because always people ask, oh, is this PG? No.
No. My show ain't either. I usually tell people, it's like, hey, whatever you're feeling, just express yourself.
Right. Mm-hmm. What kind of podcast did you,
it was kind of a, I guess it was kind of like the human interest story. Because I was talking to people in the wrestling world, I was talking to movies and some other and modeling and things like that, and we would talk a little bit about their talent or profession, but we would just straight run conversation for about an hour, hour and a half, just bullshit and having a good time.
Yeah, that's what my friend does. He's you know, we have a whole bunch of podcasts that we get, you know, we're associated. You see this big Podcast Network logo. That two guys out of Florida, they took it. One's a professional wrestler, used to be a wrestler, and he's a sports buff, big time, and his coworker's a big wrestling fan, and he's you know, into all the movie and genre and all, you know, this and that. And
oh, cool.
Pop culture and music, and you know, they have a variety. We have a variety, you know what I mean? You have to have a variety of shows, and people could get added more and more. We add a lot more, you know.
And that was one. And that, dude, like, funny enough, my show got started because of COVID. Like back in, I think it was like April, or it was over the summer. But yeah, I got kind of bored because all the shows were getting canceled, couldn't go socialize, couldn't go travel. So I was like, fuck, I really want to talk to people though. Yeah. So I end up like making some podcasts just to, like, you know, spew crap off my chest, just whatever. And then eventually it turned into, hey, I just want to start talking to my friends and just start talking to new people about whatever. And that's what social disturbancing ended up becoming. Is just getting on the horn with people and just running conversation, just socializing. Like I said, bringing people together. And it was, it kind of made you feel like, you know, times are normal again, you know?
And you know what it was? What podcasting is cool. All the software, they have OBS, they have this and they got that. This one I got is like, I paid $200. It clicks right up to Facebook, Twitter, Periscope. Come on, YouTube. Like,
that's not bad.
Quick, easy access. You might want to look at that up. That'd be something down the road for your filming groups and stuff. It's easy to set up, you know. You don't have to go through all the hassles of downloading program after program, resetting your computer for the, you know, and then you can just save it and just put it on YouTube and, you know, record it.
Well, I'm definitely loving the layout of it. This is cool. And dude, I love how you've got all your graphics and you've got everything animated and whatnot. You've done a really well job on this. Actually,
it's part of the lady. The lady actually I found a lady on the site. One of the ladies, one of the co-hosts. There's a lady that does layouts. I was like, oh, try to get me something. Can I pay up $35? Come on, you know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, color scheme. It's all about the color, you know. It's all about just advertising, you know.
Absolutely. And you gotta brand yourself, man.
And throw a curtain up. Come on, a black curtain, easy. How hard is it, right?
Right. It's you see it, man.
I mean, I have a green screen. I never play with this though, you know.
Oh, you haven't played with your green screen, man? Those things are incredible.
Yeah.
There's I use Filmora when I do all my videos and stuff. You can have a lot of fun with the green screen on that because it's got a good chroma key on it.
Well, maybe I'll do that when I'm on my Christmas vacation. Makes some like wrestling horror movies. Ooh, there you go. So I can create my own little short docs.
Totally, Cam. I'll send you a couple of my promos I've done, but I do all my promos on a green screen and just animate the backgrounds and stuff.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's fun to, like, you know, do your own thing. It's really like neat, you know. There's so much you could do. It's like my friend did all that graphicing and stuff, you know, that barbed wire, like that was insane. Like the opening video, you know. Oh, and by the way, did you know who the voices were on the? I want to see if you knew who the voices were on that podcast. They're wrestlers, of course.
I couldn't pick it out. I was trying to hear it though. It sounded kind of familiar. Who'd you have on there?
Okay, that was the Bulldozer, Matt Tremont. The opening, and then the last one was the Madman himself, Madman Pondo.
Oh man, that's awesome! I remember watching Pondo in like the early 2000s when he was doing all the.
Dude, it's so great! I know. So much stuff he's done. He's still doing it. He's still going out.
He's still going. That's incredible.
It is. I mean, you see him like in the IWA Mid-South, like on a flyer, or you'll see him here or there. It's like, wow, he's still around.
See, that surprises me too. I've never done deathmatch wrestling. I've always been into it. Never done it myself. But the longevity, a lot of these guys are having, even still wrestling now, and I remember him wrestling 20, 30 years ago, is insane in like the best way.
Yeah. And now it's passed on to the newer generation, and it's art, man. It's a form of art, and people don't realize, the way it's done and it's created, the stories behind it. And I'm sure you've seen like Game Changer Wrestling. I'm sure you've seen GCW. That's where Matt Tremont was a big part of that, as well, and his own company H2O.
I just started getting myself familiar with Matt Tremont, but I know a lot of people that work with him and work around him.
Yes.
And the things I've seen have just been off the wall, and I love it. I think it's great. And
it is. It's a different world, for fans, anybody to be like, wow, Japanese style wrestling, Onita, the legends.
I used to watch him on the old FMW tapes. Remember when you used to have like FYE used to carry all the high voltage video FMW DVDs?
Yes.
Flight of the Hayabusa, Yokohama Death Match. I used to have all those, man. That was my dive into hardcore wrestling. That was my introduction to death match.
And like the hardcore, that's when Terry Funk was like original. Like you're talking about Mick Foley going to Texas, Japan, and my God, you never would have thought of that. And Vader and Vader of all people. Yeah.
And it's like for me, the matches I always remember is there was this one. It was C4 Explosion, Beds and Nails, Barbed Wire, and it was Cactus Jack versus Wing Kenny Murra. So it's like the one match that sticks out in my mind from that time of wrestling. I'm just like, who's your favorite death match? It'd be like Cactus Jack and Kenny Murra. And it was like, holy fuck. And then you go back and watch that, and then you see what they're doing now. And it's like they've been able to, expound upon the Beds and Nails and the C4.
The light tubes are more of light tubes. And
the light tubes is the big deal, man.
And actually, and they transitioned from the tables to the doors, the wooden doors instead, the hollow doors, closet doors, which is good,
Oh, do you remember those old Japanese tables you used to see that they would go break through the skinnier ones, but they were like 3 inches thick? I couldn't imagine going through one of those, man. Shit. Dude.
Yeah, think about it. Like, Pondo's done that. Masada's done that, Like, gosh, like these guys have Danny Havoc, holy shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, God rest Danny Havoc, man.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. One cool dude. One guy who's I've seen actually got a chance, at a show, and I was like at a Game Changer show, and I'm in the parking lot. I like building weapons and shit, and we're all getting ideas for weapons, and he pulls out the list that he draws himself, and my God, the man's a genius,
Yeah, Game Changer Wrestling, man. I like that they're all over the place because they've been doing. I don't know. I just got familiar with them last year because I started wrestling Ruckus a whole lot.
Yes, Ruckus. Yes, you were. I was going to say yes. He wrestled. He's a great wrestler as well. One of the original OGs, wrestler.
Dude. And he's such a crazy dude, like in the best way. Because I know wrestling with him, I know anytime I've been in the ring with him, it's been like a night off, kind of. Dude's just easy going.
Look what he's doing now, man. He's creating cool consoles for video games and stuff. Like that's what he does. It's awesome.
Chocolate City. Hey, I'll plug it for him. Chocolate City Customs. Get your games.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It really is cool. Like I would love to have her, Jake. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Deathmatch Russell podcast gear.
Oh, fuck yeah, man.
Cover or plate or even an old Nintendo deck,
Mm-hmm. Oh, that'd be sweet. I think what is it? The PlayStation 5 is supposed to have customizable plates now, isn't it?
I have no clue. I don't play that shit.
I think I was reading about that, man. That'd be cool to have like Deathmatch Russell podcast PlayStation.
Or Mad Max on there, right?
Oh, dude, fuck yeah. And the funny thing, dude, is when I had my brand made, I was like, I want something I could slap on everything. And I had a pal of mine come up with this thing, and I literally put it on everything.
It is, and it's eye-catchy. It really is. It catches people's eye, That's what you want.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, you gotta slap your shit on everything, otherwise nobody knows who you are.
I know, that's what... You know what? I was like, that's what my tombstone. That's how I came up with that design. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna think of like what can I do that's different, and it's not rich, never been duplicated or. I had a friend who's a drawer from Combat Zone Wrestling, and so I was like, hey, can you draw a tombstone for me with my logo on it? And that's it.
Dude. Yeah, well, your guy knocked it out the park, man, because that thing looks original. That's cool as hell. I like it.
It is. I mean, it's really sharp, when you're at a show, too, when you see the bigger, the big banner as well.
No, it's definitely pops.
I like doing an on-site podcast. When I can. It's hard to get a lot of people when you're enjoying a show too.
But the thing I like about it is we had a bunch of those at VCW. That, like how I was saying, how I met Dave from Boot and Heel was some of the guys he was working with. They had one. The cool thing I like about having podcasts at the shows is it gives it that big fight feel. It's neat for the fans to see it from the crowd, be like, oh, man, the wrestlers on the radio over here. This is fucking sweet. I got to check this out.
Yeah. And then it gives it a chance for you to listen to the stories and then you go back and you listen to the archives, of people's podcasts. I mean, if you look back, like Pondo, I would have to say was one of my good, original podcasts that I enjoyed having him as a guest, and PCO from the Quebecer dude, like, come on!
Oh my god,
like old school, like he was like I picked up talent that was like just actually a couple of guys that like game changer, just making their way up top, and getting recognized, which is really cool.
See, PCO's another one that like blows my mind because that dude's been around, done so much, and he's just like crushing it. His twilight. It took him like 50-something years to like find his prime. Because this dude is like unstoppable.
Those promos he does, dude, are the best. Have you seen those?
Oh yeah, because he does the Frankenstein stuff with the manager.
Yes.
It's incredible because they have like lightning shoot on him. I'm like, dude, this is fucking good because it's bridging the gap between the horror, the old creepy stuff, and pro wrestling. And he's fucking nailing it.
And he's doing it in Canada, which is cool, like he's finding locations, like different little buildings and like empty warehouses, like any kind of place, bring a coffin in, and that really is really cool. Electricity, that's his thing,
Dude, because I remember watching him old, I think it's like old mid-90s WWF when he was tagging with his brother. He had the fucking eye patch on.
I know. I was like, damn, I think I have the figure laid around or something, But no, it was that guy. I mean, yeah, I've had legends on. I have had Dr. D. David Schultz on. That's like,
oh no way.
He wrestled in my hometown. He wrestled in my hometown. I was a young kid, and actually, Bruiser Brody wrestled inside a steel cage versus Julius. What is it? Smokes. Julius Wahoo. The Indian guys, the Strongbow family, Strongbows. Okay. So at a steel cage, I was like, holy shit! Abdullah was there. I missed seeing him. It was a school night. I had to go home, but no, I got to see, like Bruiser Brody, and that was like, wow, like, to see that guy in person, like as a young kid, like, yeah, you're my idol, man. You're a guy I looked up to watching it on TV.
Oh, I can imagine just being a kid watching Bruiser because that dude like embodied what he was. He was wild as shit. That's what, and that was one of the guys that really helped me kind of dive into. I was gonna man.
I was gonna say, yeah, that was one of your guys that really helped you transition your, yourself as a character, almost as a person, for wrestling.
Absolutely, that's the thing, dude. He embraced his character, and he taught me just to kind of do the same thing, just like let it fly.
Yeah, and look at that. They did so many documentaries on him, and that was pretty cool. Like, there's all these cool movies, stuff that they came out with after, about all these wrestlers and stuff. You didn't realize the backstories, the real stories behind,
I would like to see a Bruiser Brody biopic. Because I think he's got a great enough story. If they were to ever do one of those, who do you think would be like the best actor to play Bruiser Brody?
I don't know. Probably he's on AEW. Brody Lee.
I can see him doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I can see him doing that justice too. I can see him doing that justice too. That'd be great.
Or Matthew Justice. There's another guy. Matthew Justice could do it. He's got that kind of look almost.
No,
he's a wrestler. You know.
I don't think I'm familiar with him.
Another game changer guy.
Okay.
He's been in the ring a lot, but he's just all out. He's hardcore. He's a hardcore fucking like suicide guy. Evil Knievel of deathmatch wrestling, I call him. You know, just balls to the walls. You know, and he's actually had Bill Alphonse as his manager a couple times.
Oh yeah, baby, we're gonna go ahead and go do it now.
Yes, and he has his own podcast as well. God damn it, these guys! I got to get him on the show. Hey, but he probably charges. Some of these guys charge a lot of money. You know?
Oh, I bet.
I remember I went to a show and I asked Tommy Dreamer, want to come on my podcast? Oh, sorry, kid, sorry, but I'm sorry with Siri. Really, and Sandman as well. Yeah, sorry, whatever.
No, but that's the thing, dude. That's the deals right now.
Yeah. Or they want to be signed on TV. Well, they do these virtual signings too. You see that? You know, that's not cheap. You know, you see these local kids doing it. Like there's a bunch of, you know, promoter kid guys out there doing it. You know.
I'll tell you what though, man, because Tommy's on the Busted Open podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good show to listen to. That's got a lot of stories and a lot of insight and whatnot. So there's young wrestlers watching this. Definitely, that's one of those ones you should definitely throw into your time is check out Busted Open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I always listen to Steve Austin also. Of course, everybody has to. Yeah. You hear.
I listened to him for a good few years, man. My guy right now is Bruce Pritchard. I like listening to him and Conrad doing what was it called? Something to Wrestle. Because he talks about the old stories from like the 80s and the 90s when he was at the E before. And it's just funny shit hearing his accounts on it.
I've listened, but I stopped listening to Cornette because he just got overhand. You know, he got overhand but it was funny when the wrestler, my friend also as well, deathmatch wrestler G Raver, you know, the clown t-shirts got, you know, the case that really jumped the internet for a while and he blew him in a hole, you know. It was great just to see a little war with Jim Cornette get really heated, you know.
Yeah, but you know what? That was fucking wrestling at its finest.
It was because
they both made money on that.
Oh, absolutely, and I'll never forget going to it was the Game Changer show in Atlantic City when June Kasai was there. G Raver had a head, or somebody had a head, the Cornette head, and that's, you know, I think that's what after that it just transitioned, and you know, it's everywhere you go. It's like Cornette, fuck you, clown Cornette, you know. But no. But shout out to the Indie Connection for that design, you know, and Bill, my friend Bill out of Virginia as well, for VOW. There's another promotion. VOW used to run up in West Virginia. I remember that for a while. They were doing shows, deathmatch shows, actually, with G Raver as well. A whole bunch of other people. But actually, I was just reading a story. I saw another deathmatch wrestler is not doing good. Colt 45, a young wrestler from Virginia. So shout out to Colt.
I hope he's doing all right.
I know. They say he's in ICU, so I don't know, man. He just did a show or something, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
He was just with G Raver. Like, how crazy is that?
No.
But what else we got going on, man? Like what's happening wrestling wise for you? Have you?
So a few weeks ago, I worked for Eclipse Wrestling in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been there for a while. Well, since COVID can't do crowd shows, so we're building a television show to play on YouTube, and we have a deal with Fox TV, Fox 43 out there. So we're in the process of filming a whole bunch of TV that we can start putting up for fans to keep our stories going. And yeah, so this last set of tapings, I mean, spoiler alerts, it's already on the internet. So, but I defeated Zach Rain, the White Rabbit, for his. He was champion since December of 2018. I beat him for the heavyweight title. So I am Eclipse now.
Congratulations on your victory. You know, I mean, that's something I'll have to do in 2020, 21. Go out that way because we're not far. You know,
it's a fun time out there, dude. You'll enjoy it. We got a lot of great guys over there. Great guys, great girls, and we just got O'Shea Edwards in the mix from Ring of Honor camp.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good. There's one wrestler that's made a name for himself, man. Yeah,
I love O'Shea to death, man. He's a cool guy.
He is.
And he's just a monster in the ring.
He is.
But aside from that, wrestling's been kind of light. My book got primarily canceled for most of 2020 like everybody else. Mm-hmm. But as far as getting back to it, I'm focusing on Eclipse right now. I'm supposed to be going back to Carolina, I think, after the new year. And then I've just been shooting some stuff for some movies. I've been working on this one movie with Brad Twigg from Fuzzy Monkey. It's a horror anthology called Shriek Show, and we're all circused out, bunch of murderous clowns, bunch of old crazy shit. We just went and did some pickup shots about last week for that. So I got back in the paint, back in the costume, and spread some murder and joy, spill some blood.
Cool. You ever shoot stuff in Jersey? You ever tried Jersey?
I haven't. I haven't made it out that far yet, but I want to. It's on my list.
That's cool. Yeah, there's so many fun spots. I'm actually where the shore is. I'm actually like Point Pleasant, Ocean County. I'm like right up by the beachfront. You know, like I'm right there. All the surrounding Monmouth County and all the spots that you would think would be good locations. You know.
See, I want to because it's rich with just character. Because growing up,
there's a lot of woods as well, you know. So
growing up, I was a big trauma guy. I grew up on Lloyd Kaufman films. I like all that weird, like all that old cheesy shit, like Toxic Avenger. So, and he was the first superhero to come from Jersey. So, for me, like to chalk off my career bucket list in horror, I want to film some stuff in Jersey.
Ooh, do something around the 7th. Ooh, do something around Friday the 13th area. Ooh, there you go.
Ooh, that'd be fun,
right? Hop the fence.
Oh, dude, I'll pay the ticket. Fuck it.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Totally worth it.
Would be. Check. Got my machete. Got my masks. All right.
Check.
Chainsaws ready. Yes. Check.
Nah. But I've been doing a whole bunch of stuff with filming lately. We also just released this movie called Deathboard. I've got the T-shirt on right now. That was from Brad Twigg. It's a Ouija board flick, and a bunch of girls playing around with the Ouija board and unlock all kinds of hell.
That's awesome. I got picked for a part in a movie. I was an extra since I'm a garbage man. They were doing a this guy from California came down. I guess he lived in Jersey as well, and it was called a comedy film. And it was called Bricktown the movie.
Bricktown. I think I've seen that.
Yeah, based on a comical two youth guys, drugs and relationship, and murder somebody and throw them in the garbage truck.
Ah.
But I was on the back of the garbage truck for that scene, and they hooked me up with a T-shirt. That's how I have my 5 minutes of fame.
Oh yeah, man, that's it. That's indie for you, brother. That's awesome.
That is, and or even like I was an extra for The Wrestler. When Mickey Rourke was at Jersey All Pro Wrestling at the Broadway Rec Center. I was right ringside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, how fun was that for you, man? Especially when you're like doing like the film. Was it because you're doing a wrestling show? You say you did the wrestler. Yeah. You're doing a wrestler show as an extra, and then you're doing like a bit part as an extra. Yeah. I mean, how fun does that have to be for you,
dude? I wasn't expecting it. That my boss was like, they're doing a location filming. They're filming a movie next, like right up the street, and we need two extras. So the garbage guy, the driver, and I was like, you know what? I'll be the laborer. Of course, I was the laborer. So, but no, just to be told what to do, and show them actually how do you work. And the stunt people how to work the handles. It's kind of like interesting for them because they don't know. But I didn't. I was supposed to have my name on the end of the credits, but they sent me a T-shirt instead.
Oh, you should have got that credit, man.
I know. My friend did it before he died, so yeah. But The Wrestler, man, talk about like just an experience. I was out like a second row ringside, right by the entranceway, and when they were announcing we're gonna be doing a movie live, everybody just cheer real loud and get the hype going, be all hype because I think it was the Ron Killings was in the ring versus somebody else. That scene right there, and Mickey's up in the bleachers looking down. It's like, wow, man, this is it.
That's incredible. Did you get to meet Mickey while you were doing that?
I was outside having a smoke, and I walked right past me. I should have grabbed him. But I just let him be. So many people like in the movie business. Like I my coolest experience. I think it will be really like I'll never forget as a kid growing up, or going to the city. Of course, you go to New York City and all the stars are out. This is when they're really popular. I was actually sitting at Planet Hollywood with my parents. And right behind me, I hear this laughing, one of those loud laughs. And it was actor Damian Williams from In Living Color.
Oh, you were sitting with Damian Wayans?
Right behind me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was really a cool experience. But also my another experience. Well, I was at the Plaza Hotel, that famous hotel where all kind of movies are filmed. And, it was around that time when Joey Buttafuoco and his wife were there and Amy Fisher. So I saw the Buttafuoco family having dinner.
Oh, wow.
Just looking over there. Hey, that's Joey Buttafuoco. No shit. My sister, but my sister lives in, my sister and a lot of my relatives live in the city as well. And one time my sister saw Macaulay Culkin just standing by a wall.
That's funny. Dude, talk about a small world though.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And these people are just like you and me, man.
Absolutely. They are with big bucks.
That's why they make the big bucks.
Yes. And as we're talking about movies with wrestlers, actually, Pro Wrestler versus Zombies. G Raver was in that. He was a film extra. He was in that movie. So there you go.
Another one is Wrestle Massacre. Have you heard that one?
I've heard of it. I need to check it out later.
That one's got a ton of people in it, and I guess saying something without saying something is you guys should be on the lookout for Wrestle Massacre 2 in 2021.
Uh-oh, somebody's coming out? Uh-oh.
Think so, yeah.
Some guy. Oh, yeah, keep an eye out for a mad guy.
Yeah, and that one was That one was a fun one too, just to watch because I wasn't a part of the first one. But Wrestle Massacre had a Cuban assassin running around town, just ripping people's heads off their shoulders, ripping their legs off, beating them with it.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah,
like everybody was a extra in that movie. It was fun.
Mm-hmm. That's sweet. Yeah. How many times were you an extra in a movie? Like, have you ever had that experience? Like, ever? Like, you know,
I've had a couple.
Yeah,
I had a couple like before I really like started pursuing stuff. Like one of the first ones I did a music video for a band back home in Virginia years ago where I played a bit role in a bar. And then probably about 2-3 years ago I did one for Iron Reagan, and that's when I really got started. Was they had me and like 4 or 5 other wrestlers come in and just start beating up the band.
Oh shit. Speaking about a band, I'll never forget my cousin's a bass player, and the TV series Tribeca in New York. Of course, there was a moving scene, so his band was playing the moving scene on TV. Like, that's badass.
That's badass as hell, man. Get to play on TV.
Yeah. I'll never forget that experience, seeing that, and then I have to getting the tape downloaded. You know, I'm like, yeah, I got it. But yeah, you know, and to be an extra it's cool though. You know what I mean? As it really is an experience, because you never know. You know.
Were you ever one of those guys that would go to those haunts? And have you ever been like a haunt actor?
No, not me. Never.
No,
never. I would just go to the haunted houses and just scare the shit out of my friends once in a while. I'd go to, I've like gone to the original haunted houses before they burnt, like, you know, like the Great Adventure, when that burnt down, and I was there for that. I was scared shitless as a kid.
Now, what's Great Adventure? Was that one of the ones like local to you?
Yeah, that was the Jackson. That's the one that was that'd be the news and shit. It's on YouTube. It's still there. Just type it in. It's crazy. YouTube fire, you know, haunted house. Wow. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's awesome. Haunted houses are awesome though. Around, you know, it's just mind blowing what they can do nowadays, and the graph, you know, all the animated and just the characters that they do it, you know, all the electronics and this and that, and just the way it's all.
That and a lot of the art that's coming out of these things too, man. Because there's like, a lot of these haunts are starting to get like really realistic, and just have like the craziest looking effects and whatnot, which I think is neat. It's giving like artists a chance to like kind of come in and do stuff every year. Yeah.
And I have actually one of my deathmatch builder guy from Combat Zone Wrestling. He does that. He does the building, and he builds stuff as well for, you know, haunts, which is
cool.
I think that's in Pennsylvania somewhere. I'm not sure.
I've always wanted to be one of those guys.
Yeah,
just one of the haunt actors. I just want to like peek out behind someone like,
yeah, a squirting knife or something, you know, machete coming out of the woods or something, yeah, or hanging from a tree, or well, nowadays people actually hang from trees and then they die. You know, it's really like you know, you see all that on them horror stories of the haunted places and stuff. You know, you read it. It's like, oh, no shit.
There's another one of those places I want to visit because I got family in Louisville, Kentucky. I had a cousin that went through it, but they have one of those, I think it's like a shutdown insane asylum, Waverly Hills. That's supposed to be stupid haunted. I guess there was a bunch of TV about it, talking about inmates used to die in this place, and then it was stayed haunted for years.
Yeah, that's like the penitentiary in Pennsylvania as well. I've been to that one. The one, you know, where there are 3D characters. Everybody pops out and scares the shit out of you. I've been to that one time. That was pretty cool. But I never did an overnight. I'd like to do an overnight at the Stanley Hotel. That's something awesome to do. That'd be like, because the history there, you know, with The Shining, as we were talking earlier.
Yeah, The Shining was another one of those crazy stories, man.
Yeah. the way that was filmed, and but then they did the series, which was horrible. That really had nothing to do with it.
Never watched the series, but I also remember hearing that what was his name? I think it was like I think Stephen King had said that he was not a fan of Stanley Kubrick's version of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, right. I'm just reading my pop-up chats here. Oh, my Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright's up next after our podcast. So I think it's time for us to say goodnight soon.
Yeah, sure.
Anytime you want to come on, let's do this again.
I definitely appreciate you having me, man. This has been a good time.
Yeah, if you want to, plug anything, plug away, plug all your upcoming things and projects so people can check it out.
Yeah, sure thing. I appreciate it. Yeah, so you can find me at madmaxmorrison.com, 2 Ds, 2 X's, 2 R's. Super important. And
follow, links all below. There you go.
There you go. Just got all my links up there. Just follow me everywhere. And right now, House That Eats Flesh. It's a new film coming out. We're filming it next year. We got our Indiegogo campaign going on. It's going to be an old splatter film, lots of boobs, lots of blood, lots of guts. You're going to want to be a part of it. So if you want to check it out, we got awesome perks. There's supposed to be a picture and a shout out with yours truly. Throw down a couple bucks. I'll talk to you. God, that sounds so pretentious. I hate it.
yeah. Cameos, folks.
Jesus Christ. But we got that going on right now. So if you guys want to help contribute, that would be awesome. And just keep your eyes open, man. Mad Max is always doing stuff.
Mm-hmm. You never know where you'll pop up, right? Jersey, never know. Maybe wrestling in Jersey, everywhere, or making a movie in Jersey. You never know.
Never know.
Maybe I'll be an extra in your movie. You never know.
Never know.
You never know. You never know. Well, Mad Max, I want to say thank you for coming on. You have a good night.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Take care.
Yep. Good night. All right, fans. I have to say goodnight to him because we're pushing 2 podcasts tonight. And, what a night. That's, it's an experience to be talking to somebody who's been in the business wrestling and who does acting on the. It's 2 different worlds, fans. It's wrestling is, you pursue your career as a professional wrestler, and, you can go to school and become an actor and take the role of being in a movie. Making a documentary. It's not easy, but it's a fun experience to catch your attention of your audience and your peers and other people as well. So big shout out to Mad Max tonight for coming on. I want to say thank you for him coming on, and be sure you check out all his films, and we'll get him back on the podcast soon, fans. Go support him. Buy some merch at bootandheel.com. Check them out, fans. Go on Mad Maxx Morrison, and you could get some Boot and Heel merch, as well as the Deathmatch Russell podcast merch as well. Check out Deathmatch Russell. Just type in the search Deathmatch Russell podcast. Pick up yourself a t-shirt. Just going to be some more stuff coming as well. Sweatshirts, hoodies, you name it. Boot and Heels, your wrestling experience for all wrestler and independent promotion wrestling and merchandise as well. So the holidays are coming up. Buy some t-shirts from your favorite wrestlers and podcasters as well as me. And thank you for listening, fans. Good night. I'm going to have to close out because I got a podcast coming up soon. I'm going to be going live with my guest tonight, professional wrestler, Mr. Wright, and manager, the queen of hearts, Miss Wright as well. Mr. and Mrs. Wright will be on the podcast tonight of the Deathmatch Russell podcast. Thank you very much, fans, for listening. Have a good night. Till next time. Tune in at 9 p.m. Good night, everybody.
You can find more Deathmatch Russell podcasts on the following social media: deathmatchrussell.com, follow on Twitter at DavidNJ32, and on Facebook, facebook.com/DJDaveNJ32.
Instagram at DavidNJ36.
Hey, wrestling fans, I want to mention Collar and Elbow.
Collar and Elbow was founded on traditional values of professional wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product intended to connect with people on an emotional level, a symbiotic relationship where one cannot flourish without the other. We strive to create a product that embodies our passion for professional wrestling expressed through street fashion. Visit collarandelbowbrand.com and use the promo code Deathmatch Podcast and save 10% off when you make a purchase. Collar and Elbow, where wrestling passion meets street fashion.
Me on Podcast City Network at podcastcity.net, facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit the like button and share. And on Twitter at Podcast City Net. You can hear Deathmatch Russell Podcast on Stitcher Radio and on iTunes.